Now that the Olympics have ended in Paris, you might be asking, well, what happens to all those sports venues? Well, this year's organizers, they built some arenas, but mainly used existing spaces like the Stade de France and the Palace of Versailles. The equestrian events there were gorgeous. It's all, though, a part of a push for increased sustainability. Well, a recent study from the IOC shows 85% of Olympic venues built for games between 96 and 2018 are still in use. While that number may be better than expected, abandoned structures still mark the spots of games long past. Dana Jacobson shows us how one American host city helped change that.
A trip to Atlanta for many, not complete without a visit to Centennial Park, a gathering spot during the 1996 Olympics.
Growing up, we would always watch the Olympics, so I think that seeing where it actually took place has a greater meaning.
A quintessential part of the legacy left behind from those games, with other venues also still dotting the Atlanta landscape, like the stadium used to kick off the '96 Olympics, with an iconic moment. So we are on what would have been the field for track and field, right. Opening ceremonies, closing ceremonies. What does it feel like to be back here?
Well, it's kind of overwhelming.
Charlie Battle was one of the original members of the organizing committee that brought the games here.
One of the big problems of Olympic cities is that they've always had a tendency to build too much. Every sport wants some state-of-the-art facility. Right. And you've got to think about, no, what do we need?
Especially when, in the case of Atlanta, money had to come from private, not public funds. That meant spending wisely, according to Battle, and helped shape the committee's bid.
We wanted a legacy. We didn't need a stadium.
But the Atlanta Braves did. So the host committee built their Olympic stadium with plans to turn it into a major league ballpark.
I'm very gratified always that we've been able to make use of this facility beyond the Olympics.
This is its third use.
Yeah, that's right. The Braves used it for 20 years, and now, finally, with Georgia State, has become a great catalyst for this area.
To keep costs down, Atlanta made use of structures already built, like the old Georgia Dome and the World Congress Center, while some venues built explicitly for the games were also able to be repurposed, like this building, which is now Georgia Tech's Aquatic Center.
So it was open air with a cover, and it's now a 4-level student recreation facility.
Not everything from the games found such success, like the now demolished tennis stadium. But Atlanta did set an example for future host cities, says the IOC's Tanya Braga.
The benefit for the communities, it happens when there is a clear alignment between the needs of the city, the region, and the venue.
Braga collaborates with host committees to keep the future in mind. 10 years ago, the Games governing body adopted a roadmap called Olympic Agenda 2020, focused in part on ways to make the Olympics more sustainable.
We live in a world who have many challenges, environmental challenges, economical, social, and we need to adapt to our times. We need to be flexible. We need to be part of the solutions.
Dana Jacobson, Atlanta.